Phrasal verbs?
Yes, today
Ah?
topic is phrasal verbs. Phrasal
Yes.
verbs, I call them your gateway to conversational English, because
Yes.
while educated words, high score vocabulary words such as surreal or zealous or educate or surmount characterize your educated English, there are a lot of verbs and language units that characterize your conversational proficiency. And phrasal verbs characterize the conversational proficiency of an English speaker. Have we done this together before?
No, it's the first time.
So it's the first time. Let's start with some quizzes. I'm sure you will like them.
Yes.
All of my students, they like the quizzes, and let's see how it goes. It will be a warm-up. Sometimes I get engrossed in, let's use phrasal verbs. I am carried away by phrasal verbs, by the quizzes, because they've got the pictures and nice sentences. But stop me when you get tired or you get bored, because after the quizzes we will work with your own sentences,
Okay.
Yes, that that constitute bread and butter exercise. So bread and butter exercise is a different type of exercise, and now come quizzes. Read the quiz, then read the 4 choices, and then choose one of the options.
Okay, I'll be there when you need me. You can count on me.
Wonderful, thank you.
Thank you.
The next one.
What clothes should I pack for a trip to Boston? Well, it depends on the time of year that you go.
Yes, although this is not really a phrasal verb, maybe I should delete this slide, but it's a very common phrase, or it's a very common expression to depend on something. And let me point out the pronunciation of the word clothes. Also there is E, but we don't pronounce it. The first syllable is open, so it's clothes. Because of this E, we say clothes instead of cloth. We say clothes, and then we just add Z to clothes. It's not an easy word, but this is the pronunciation. Clothes, clothes.
Okay, Sveta, dear, I know the theory. I failed to practice it.
Yes,
I know
like,
this theory.
Yes,
but I failed to practice it.
Yes, I know. I call it an English bee, английская пчелка, where
let me try.
Yes, where we practice or so 2 sounds turning into each other, where turns into s, or the voiced sound turns into another voiced sound, which is z. So we will practice, or you will practice that on your own. Just pay attention. You know what helps? Actually, I'm sorry I'm saying this because you don't need it, but when I said this to my new student yesterday, he was amazed. He was amazed. I said that in order to practice the sound the and th, you will use a little mirror. You will remember the position of your tongue between your teeth, and you will never make the same mistake again. So you will know exactly the difference between s and z and s and s, and you will understand that a lot depends on how you pronounce this word, because there is sick, which is ill, or there is sick, which is overweight, or a lot of other words totally depend on the pronunciation of the sound s or z or z. Okay, let's move on. Read the next sentence.
The pain I had in my shoulder. The pain I had in my shoulder right after I tried the new therapy.
Yeah. Well, actually, I would put right, not in the middle of the phrasal verb, but I would put the word right before after. Right after I tried the new therapy. but somehow this sentence was taken from, from some original source, and I just didn't change anything. So which of these phrasal verbs do you like more for this option?
I would say burn up.
No. It disappeared, right? The pain I had in my shoulder disappeared right after I tried the new.
Then dry up.
No, dry up. No, dry up we use more about resources, about water or money, or just resources. Now look at
clear up.
Clear up is, right now it's overcast. The sky is overcast and it's raining, but maybe by tomorrow it will clear up.
Yeah.
So the sun will come up, it will clear up.
The pain I had in my shoulder, so the meaning is disappear. Yeah? Disappeared, yes. Right after I tried the new therapy.
Yes.
Well, I have only A now.
Yeah, cleared up right after I tried. So if you put right in the middle of the phrasal verb, it accentuates or it strengthens the meaning of the verb clear up, right? But if you put right before after, it puts more emphasis on the subsequent effect, like after what it happened, right after I tried the new therapy. However, if you think about it, it will probably take 10 minutes, maybe after the new therapy works, right? Anyway, I mean, if you try this word, if you change the position of the word right, either here or here, there is actually a change of meaning as well. So right up is probably, better if we want to accentuate the effect of the phrasal verb itself, of that action. Yeah. Yes, and not the medicine. Yes, the next one.
It was cloudy in the morning, but right after, but around 11, it cleared right up.
Yeah, so it cleared right up means the quickness of the action.
Yeah. There's some broken glass there. Don't step on it.
Don't step on it. Wonderful. So you did it really, really quickly at the first sight, as we say, right?
Actually, I didn't even look at the choices you give. Yes. I just, I understand
that's how I placed it. That's right.
That guy is crazy. He ought to be handed in.
Wonderful. So handed in is actually passive voice. To be handed in, either to police or to doctors. So he has to be handed in. The next one.
Outside. Zip up.
Wonderful, thank you. I think this is what you tell Nur Sultan very often. Nur Sultan, zip up your coat. So this is very, very realistic. It's from our life.
Janice hates her job and she
there are 3 spaces.
Yeah. She has taken it out on her husband.
Mm-hmm. She takes it out. It's present indefinite.
Okay, she takes it out on her husband.
Mm-hmm. And we do that, don't we?
So actually, to take out on someone, it's the first time I'm using it.
Mm-hmm.
I may have seen it.
I will tell you, let's use this this phrase in our everyday speech, and I will tell you, Dia Izada, I know you're upset, but please don't take it out on Nur Sultan. Dia Izada, you're upset, but please don't take it out on the, on the janitor or on anyone, on your friends. And you never do that anyway, so you can tell this to somebody else.
Yes, about Nur Sultan, you are actually correct, because I often, if not always,
take it out on him. Yes, you take it out on him. Yes. And then you reason yourself, you tell me, you know, Svetlana, well, actually, Nursultan is a normal boy. He's a young
Yes.
man, and these are the demons he faces within himself, and he is working on it, but it is not unusual to have burst outs of anger, you know, to feel injustice and go out and fight. Right. The next one.
I didn't have any insurance, so paying for those hospitable bills really burnt up all my savings.
I would say that burnt up is very dramatic, but
Yes.
earlier on we discussed this expression of dry up, and
Yes.
dry up relates to resources, to money, and to water.
Yeah. Yes. So dried up is better.
Yes, because money is liquidity. Money
Yes.
is liquid, right? Liquidity.
Yes. Okay.
That's why dry up is better.
Okay. So you may know, dear Sveta, that I'm dramatic.
Of course, and money issues are all, yes, most of the time they are dramatic. We want to say that they burn us up because we overthink, we dramatize, we are upset, and instead of just money drying up, it also burns us up. Yeah, because if we overthink, if we get very sad, we burn ourselves. But these are two different actions. The money dries up on its own, yes, but then we burn ourselves up because of that. So there are two different actions. However, in this case, we are talking about the bills, yes? The bills that really dried up all his savings.
Yes.
Yeah, and maybe he is burning up because of that. We don't know yet.
Okay.
Because
I may say that my coming operation will hopefully not dry up my savings.
Very good. I was just going to ask you to make up your own sentence, and you did that. Thank you, Aizada. Now the next one is?
I hope it rains soon. The lake is starting to dry up.
Yeah, so this is what is happening to the lake.
Yeah.
We can see a little island here, and the girl is standing here and waiting for the rain.
Okay, my sentence on dry up about the Aral Sea. So the Aral Sea has been drying up for many, many years. I understand it hasn't dried up absolutely. It hasn't dried up to the end.
Right.
Is there a hope that it won't dry up? Well, dramatically.
Yes, dramatically speaking, we hope that it will not dry up completely. And there's also good news. There's good news from the Kazakh side of the Aral Sea that they have managed to restore their piece of the sea. So it is possible.
Okay.
Well, that is a beautiful picture of a lot of young people here.
Yes.
And not only young, but all kinds of ages.
Yes. The party will be casual, so you don't have to dress up.
Wonderful. So who is dressed up here?
The third on the left.
Yes.
In his tie. He's dressed up. Well, there is a tie at least.
Yes.
And well, I cannot see very well the others, huh? Yeah, Sveta, my monitor is not very good. There are no colors.
Thank you for telling me, because I have to know these things. I can always magnify the images.
I don't see the colors properly, because of my monitor is too old. So the guy with a tie, then probably the first lady on the right. Well, I don't know.
Well, obviously in this picture, some people are dressed up formally and some people are dressed up informally, but they are all wearing, I would say, in my opinion, they're all wearing smart clothes. I don't see any people in jeans and loose shirts. They're all dressed up, but some of them are dressed up more casually or informally, I would say, maybe artistically, like these ones, very colorfully, and others, just officially.
Yes.
Right. The next one is.
May I make up my own sentence?
Oh yes, of course.
Dressing up. I remember my party by the river in Oxford, UK, Sveta.
Yes.
I was at a course on human rights in Oxford, UK, and the director of the course, and I was participant of the course on refugee rights. Right. And the gentleman who conducted this course was also the director of that of the whole event. Yeah. And he invited us to his house on the Thames.
Yes, on the Thames, right?
On the Thames. And I was the only one. So the group of about 20 people came, and people were dressed casually.
Yes.
And the only one dressed up, I was the only one dressed up.
So did he like it? Did he appreciate it?
No, he didn't mention it.
He didn't mention it, he noticed it.
I don't know whether he noticed, but one of my group mates did notice, and she said, oh, you know what she said? She said, I thought we were supposed to be dressed up casually.
Dressed.
She was in jeans,
Yes.
And I was dressed up.
Yes. Dressed up, разодеться, нарядиться, да? So your friend said that we were not supposed to dress up already means разодеться, to look very official, very formal, dress up, разодеться. You can, if you use it without up, it means normal clothes. How are you dressed? How are you dressed for your everyday office work?
Yes.
How do you dress?
Yes.
Right? How do you dress? Well, I don't dress up. Я не разодеваюсь. I don't dress up. That's why we have a full stop here. The party will be casual, so you don't have to dress up. So when you said I was the only one who was dressed up, this is a very, very good sentence. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. And the next one?
Do you think these shoes go with my dress?
Excellent. Thank you. And that the next one?
Linda always leaves at 5 sharp, and it's almost 6 sharp now, so I'm sure she has already Linda already, and it's almost 6.
What did you do when you were coming to the lesson? You had to sign in, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so sign in and sign out. That's what we do with our accounts. And in some offices, they actually sign in, they put a signature when they come in, and they put their signature when they come out. So they sign in and sign out. And of course, there is modern software. They sign in and sign out without signatures, but they log in and they sign in. That they are in the office, and then they sign out before they leave. It's log in, log out.
So she has already signed out, meaning she left?
She signed in, yes, or signed out, yes. So Linda always leaves at 5, and it's almost 6 now, so I'm sure she has already signed.
Ушла, signed out,
yes.
Meaning she has left.
She has left, yes, and she signed out. And the next one?
Okay, let's... No, with the previous situations, I had a problem because I think, I don't know, I'm not very well acquainted with the reality of... with the reality of British life, I would say. Yes, of course, in the Soviet Union, we also did sign in. There were special journals, And we did sign out when leaving. Well, I forgot about those times. Yeah. Well, I'm explaining why I couldn't understand it. Okay, the next.
The next one is you can just read the sentence with the spaces and then read the phrasal verbs and then choose one.
Okay. Okay. The point is to see who. Okay, I'm even less familiar with the situation.
So what is happening here in the picture? What do you see?
People or not people. So there is a game.
Yes, there's some kind of table game.
Yes.
And what do you do with the points? What do you do with the points to see who won the game? What do you do with the points, with the score?
Подсчитывают.
Yes, exactly.
Count up.
Count up. And
yes.
The post position up actually means that the game is over and now you're counting up. It's like a final act. Right. Oh, for example, when you say eat it up, like eat all of it. So up means rounding something up, and it has a totality. Totality.
Okay.
Then the next one.
Alice told me she would be in the library between 7 and 8, but I looked around and couldn't find her.
Good. So you're getting really, really so proficient with phrasal verbs. Now, do you see the picture?
Yes.
Is it the right picture? Look, she's in the library and she's the Alice. And all of these, who do you see here behind the shelves?
Could you magnify it?
Yes, of course.
Oh, I see rabbit.
Yes.
I see some butterfly.
Yes.
The flowers.
Yes, and here, who's this?
And I vaguely see some figure. Very vaguely.
But it's a Mad Hatter. It's his hat.
Yes.
Shlyapnik. Yeah?
Okay.
And there's also, I think there's this bird, because there was a bird, wasn't there? Wasn't there? Dodo, the bird.
I don't see it.
Yeah, so these are the characters from the book, Alice in Wonderland. And
Alice
just
in
as
Wonderland.
she's reading about them, they are there, around the corner, near the shelf.
Yes.
I like this picture. That's why I put it there.
Yeah, very nice picture.
Yes. The next one is, let me make it a little bit smaller so you can see all of it.
I'll put your dinner in the refrigerator and you can heat it up when you come home.
Wonderful. Very easy. The next one?
Lindy is here in the office somewhere. Somewhere?
Yes.
What? Чёрточка для чего там?
No. This is a hyphen. Это дефис. And the real cases come here. She at 8:52.
She can sign in.
Yes, without can.
She signs in at 8:52.
Yes, Linda is here. She's here. She's here somewhere. Maybe not here in the picture, but she's somewhere because in the computer they see that she signed in the computer. They can see that she signed in at 8:52. So she must be there in the office.
Okay.
So your signed in will be what? Like past indefinite. The next one. Would you like to make up a sentence of your own?
Okay, let me. Lindy is here in the office. Okay. I was planning to sign in for your session today, Sveta, at some minutes before 9.
Oh, of course.
I was talking on the phone to my relative, and she told me a very interesting story from her life. So I was carried on with her story.
Of course.
Carried away.
Her story. Now, do you notice that there is this a very fashionable haircut that the boy
Yes.
is wearing. And
Yes.
this hairstyle has just reached our countries. And they
Yes.
had it some time ago. Okay, the
Okay.
next one is this.
Uh, I'm going to burn up all these old papers in the fireplace.
Right. We made it easy, didn't we? We placed the fireplace here, so burn up.
Yes,
And he is working
it's a
with
good
some.
prompt. Yes,
Doesn't it look so cozy?
it
Feels like
does.
you want to be in his place. The next one.
When you finish with the job application, you can hand it in to the secretary.
Yeah, so this might be a secretary. Is
Yeah.
waiting for your application. Would you like to change this sentence and make up your own sentence on its basis?
Handing in something to someone.
Yes.
Okay. No, nothing comes to my mind.
Right. You may talk about the upcoming operation, the surgery.
Yes.
And you will probably, or you think you might write an application or a consent, согласие, and
Yes.
hand it to the administration.
Look, Sveta, I wonder if I can ask to provide me with a kind of agreement between me and the hospital in relation to do you think it will be okay?
I think when you talk to the administrator, because you're paying, right? When you pay, there will be
Yes.
some papers for which you, like on the basis of what you're paying.
Yeah.
You can ask them, am I paying on the basis of an agreement? Will I have a medical history? Будет ли у меня медицинская карта? Right?
Yes.
Медицинская anamnез or whatever. It's called, in English, it's called medical history. So did you open a medical history for me? Because I might need it for my future. You know, if I travel, you know, whatever, I might need it.
I understand there should be a medical history. He will start some document for me, file. They will start a file for me.
Absolutely.
This is a normal thing, yeah?
Yes, it is a normal thing.
My concern is how appropriate, how correct, how tactful it is to ask Gulyam Sadikovich at this stage about this agreement. Because, you know, as I mentioned yesterday to you that my uncle advised me to pay 50%. The advance payment should be 50%. He's a doctor. He worked in Almaty for many years. He's very businesslike, I would say. And I would like to follow his advice. But we are Uzbek people here. And the Uzbek people, as you know, don't like papers. This Uzbek chilik mentality, you know, hop, hop, hop. I should be saying hop, 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 my leg. Okay.
Let's continue.
Would you get a towel and wipe up the coffee that you spilled?
Excellent. That is a good answer, in my opinion, because you can actually say clean off, but because we mentioned a towel, then wipe up is more appropriate. Do you like the picture?
Yes, very much. I wish it were colorful. I need to buy a new monitor.
Oh, so your monitor is not colorful. What a pity. Anyway, let's look at the next one. Yes.
I don't think we should make any. I don't think we should make any changes now. Let's go with our original plan.
Thank you. Let's go with our original plan. I would also say let's stick to our original plan, but we don't have it. Stick to, we don't have. We have go with our original plan.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. What is this? Oops. Yes, now this one.
Don't eat up the potato chips. Leave some for me.
Well, exactly. So up means all of it.
Yeah.
So don't eat up the potato chips. Leave some for me. Can you say the same about plov? Do you like plov?
Yes, I do. And yesterday I had plov with my uncle at my with my uncle and his wife.
Uh-huh.
It was good. It was with meat. It was with horse meat. Horse meat.
Good.
Yes, pieces of horse meat and pieces of mutton. I think I liked it very much.
Yeah.
And we didn't eat it up. You know.
Didn't eat it up. Why?
Because we were 5 people, so I ate with from one dish with my uncle, and of course we couldn't eat it up.
You couldn't eat it up. So you made up a sentence with eat up. Thank you. Let's move on and look at this sentence and choices.
Think ahead. Think ahead so that you have everything you need when you get there.
Exactly. So this is what some people do. They put things in front of them before packing. They think ahead. Now, can you use the phrasal verb think ahead in your own sentence?
That is what I'm trying to teach Nursultan. To think ahead at least. To think at least one day ahead.
Please think at least one day ahead. Love it.
Which he doesn't do.
He doesn't do. But you know, sometimes with parents, it happens so that we don't do what they tell us, but we remember what they tell us.
Yes, I hope so. Yes, I think.
And it will come to him again and again in the future. Because my auntie Aizada told me that I need to think ahead. So this is what he will do. At the moment, he's enjoying his life, but he is picking up all these wisdoms and, you know, the pieces of advice that he receives from you. He will remember all of that. We have to, yes?
We have to roll in this boat fast before it. So there are two places where I should insert, huh?
Yes, because you are breaking up the phrasal verb and you're putting the post position
I see.
a little bit
Okay,
later. Yes. So what do you do with the hole in the boat? What do you do with the hole in the boat? You don't think about the hole. You don't wipe the hole. You don't sign the hole. What do you do with the hole?
Well, plug.
Yes, you plug it. You plug it up.
Yes, it's okay.
Now, can you read the whole sentence? Because I want to discuss something.
We have to plug the hole in this boat up fast before it sinks.
Now, can you explain to me why we are putting up later in the sentence, and why are we kind of separating plug from up?
Okay, I hope so. We have to plug the hole in this boat up fast before it sinks.
Yeah. So up fast.
Yes. To plug up.
Fast. So the verb plug up. If you said, now look at the difference it would make if you use it differently. We have to plug up the hole in this boat fast before it sinks. You know, in a way, both options are correct. Both options have the same meaning. We have to plug up the hole in this boat fast before it sinks. Right?
Because
yeah.
No, of course, plug the hole in this boat up fast is better. Now let me understand. Or let me understand why it is better.
Mm-hmm.
We have to plug the hole in this boat up fast, because fast is connected with up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if we put plug up in, if we have to plug up the hole, it's correct. But then it's not clear what should be done fast.
Yes, exactly. So the urgency is emphasized because these two words are put together. It reminds me of our very first example, not very first, one of the first examples here.
Mm-hmm.
So, right up or up after I tried. Mm-hmm.
Yes, wait a moment. The pain I had in my shoulder. So we used here plug up.
Yeah, no. We said clear up.
Okay, the pain I had in my shoulder cleared right up, cleared right up after I tried the new therapy. Something is not clear to me here.
Yes, now in order to make it clearer, you need to do it differently. If you say, the pain I had in my shoulder cleared up right after I tried, or cleared right up after I tried. Both are correct. Both are correct. It is important to know that you can use it both ways. The pain in my shoulder cleared up right after I tried the new therapy. The pain in my shoulder cleared right up after I tried the new therapy. So the accent, the emphasis here is on the pain,
Right.
on the
Yes.
pain. Yes, and if you put right after the word up, then the emphasis will be on the therapy.
Mm-hmm.
The emphasis on the pain and the emphasis on the therapy. You see?
Yes.
And we only understand that when we use it, because from the point of view of the speaker, this is how he is explaining the effect. Yes, so his focus is on the pain, and he says, the pain I had in my shoulder cleared right up, after I tried the new therapy, right? Maybe it was some time ago, maybe it was 3 days ago, but if he says, the pain I had in my shoulder cleared up right after I tried the new therapy, like immediately as soon as I tried the new therapy, it cleared up. But here he's talking about the pain itself.
Look, this reminds me of commas, yeah? So
yes, that's commas. Right, that's right.
Punctuation, punctuation. And with Gulyam Sadikovich, last time I saw him, he complained about his colleagues who cannot write Uzbek properly. Oh. Yeah, because the history of their client's history, they write in Uzbek, and they cannot put commas in the correct place. They absolutely avoid commas, I understand.
Oh, so bad.
Yeah, and I gave him the example of this казнить нельзя помиловать, you know, this казнить нельзя помиловать, казнить нельзя помиловать, yeah? And he also was thinking of this phrase. On a comma, a lot depends on a comma.
We just found out that the position of the post position, yes, the place of the post position in the phrasal verb is important for the meaning of the sentence.
Well, we have to plug the hole in this boat up fast before it sinks. Okay, this also reminds me not only of Gulyam Sadikovich, but also of my problem in the English language. And my problem in the English language is punctuation, because do I pronounce
punctuation, it? Yes.
So punctuation is my weak point. Because I don't remember ever reading anything on punctuation. And I normally use commas and other things like in Russian.
There is some similarity, because in complex sentences, compound and complex sentences, we put a comma between one subject predicate and another subject predicate.
Yes, but it's not the case in English.
Not all the time, but sometimes or quite often they put punctuation between one part of the sentence and another part of the sentence. They're called clauses.
Yeah.
Inside the sentence, when you have several clauses, they're not called sentences, they're called clauses.
Yeah.
Придаточные предложения.
Да.
But yes, especially with direct and indirect speech, there's different punctuation. Also, when your direct speech is in several paragraphs, you need to put inverted commas in the beginning of each paragraph. Right? But there aren't that many differences. There are some differences, but not that many. Another thing is that in Russian, we are kind of perfectionists in syntaxes.
Yeah.
So we take care of our commas and everything. While in the English syntax, other things are more important. Like, for example, as I said, the inverted commas in the beginning of the paragraph are more important than commas inside the sentence. Right? Also, we have the semicolon, and the semicolon is very important because they even explain to you that the parts of the sentence, the clauses, are loosely connected to each other, слабо соединены друг с другом, but not loose enough to start a new sentence. So that's why we put the semicolon. But you know, at the end of the day, what I like about the English language or about any language is that as the speaker, you own your speech. You own your language as a speaker. And you can put, if you can explain why you did that, you can put commas wherever you want. At the end of the day, a comma signifies a pause. To signify a pause, you can even put a full stop.
Yes.
Right? Like you can put a full stop here after the word fast. A full stop. And then you start a new sentence before it sinks. Because it is your speech and you and only you know why you're putting a full stop. Okay?
Okay,
so
very
that
good.
Makes things easier. Это облегчает задачи. It makes things easier. You can say yes.
I like the way you say you own your own speech.
You own your speech, and as a speaker, you decide which article you use. Because you know.
Yes, exactly.
The usage of article is a very contentious area, and even if your English is near to perfect, is very good, there will be one native speaker who will say, your English is good, but your usage of articles shows that you're a foreigner.
Okay.
But then I say, you know, with articles, actually, there are some rules of thumb. There are some important rules that you have to observe, you know, when you work with articles or when you use articles. But at the end of the day, or beyond those rules, everything else is subjective. Some people prefer to use article A or N, the indefinite article. Some people overuse the definite article. If they are more passionate, more temperamental people, they use article the more often. And people who are kind of, you know, reserved and want to show that they are not biased, they're not involved, they avoid saying something definitive, they use indefinite article more often. There are even people who try to avoid articles. They try to use as few articles as possible. And all the three groups are native speakers. And that shows that the usage of article is highly personal, is highly individual, and also emotional. It's stylistic, right? So as far as I'm concerned, if I'm using an article, I can explain why I'm using it. Especially when writing, it's easier to decide whether you
Yes.
want this article or not.
Agree, totally agree, Sveta.
There's a story of a friend of mine, an American woman who lived in Bishkek for many months because she and her husband were adopting children in Kyrgyzstan. And the process of adoption took some time, so they had to stay in Bishkek for a few months. When she went back home, she stopped using articles. She just stopped using articles. And her relatives and friends were like, there's something strange about your speech. You stopped using articles. And she said, yeah, I might have, because people in Kyrgyzstan, they don't use articles. And I stopped using articles because I stopped saying, you know, the use. Why do I have to use an article where I can do without it? So I stopped using articles, she said, and that was a very interesting observation. Shall we do some more sentences? Can you read this?
Yes, let's. About articles, something I tell, so I had the students, I mentioned my students to you, I had them in November. I don't have them anymore.
Okay.
But they were of such a level, and we were discussing articles a lot. And I was telling them more or less the same as you do, that it depends on what you want to say.
Exactly, it depends on what you want to say.
And the example I gave to them, and which I often give to people whom I teach English, is I remember reading somewhere the he, and the she, So with pronouns, there was a definite article,
Right.
The he in him, the she in her.
Yes, but then the she in him and the he in her, there is this interesting phenomenon in the English language where you can convert one part of speech to another just by changing the position. So in your sentence, the he and the she becomes a noun. Yes, and it's also a metonymy. You're using one word instead of one feature instead of the whole image, like the female part of her.
Yes.
That's what you want to say, the female part of her, but instead you're using one feature, and that is the pronoun, right?
Yes.
Now, also you cannot omit articles where article is part of a phrase, is part of a set expression, like a lot of, yes, which means many or much. Here you cannot omit an article.
Yes, agree. So there was a lot of confusion about the new plan. So we asked Tom to clear it up for us.
Yes, clear it up for us. Exactly. That's good. Now you can say the same about yours, or I don't know, about your plan to go to Shymkent, right?
Okay, I still haven't cleared up my plans about going to Shymkent.
Wonderful, thank you. And the next one?
It hasn't rained in months, so this is dry forest. So this dry forest will really burn up if there is a fire.
Right, so we have fire in this sentence, that's why it is burn up. Let's shift to the next part of our exercise, and let's do some other sentences. Now, in this slide, you see a number of words, a list of phrasal verbs, and they all have one postposition, which is about. And there's a tiny piece of theory here. Can you read it?
The common theme of phrasal verbs.
Yes.
Let me move the screen with you.
Yeah, you can move it. Yes, you can move the screen with my image.
Okay, I have easily moved you this time. So the common theme of phrasal verbs with about is getting started. Okay.
And the list is getting started. So about means getting started.
Okay. You have noticed that I always bring about the subject of Nur Sultan in everything.
Yes, good.
Yeah.
Come up. Just read the list. Just read the list.
To bring about, to come about, to get about, to go about, to see about, to set about, think about, cast about, knock about.
Yes.
Okay,
And the next slide.
I think I know the meaning of most of them, but not all of them.
But now
Okay,
we will use them.
after dinner and a nap. I could say and nap.
Yes, yes. After dinner and nap.
After dinner and a nap, I set about studying. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
After waking up, James Bond set about jogging and exercising. Captain Jack Sparrow, James Bond, Mr. Bean.
Actually, these are the traces of my work with students. Once we study the sentences, we choose a character and we make up sentences about that character. And I asked them to choose between Captain Jack Sparrow, James Bond, and Mr. Bean. And ladies said, let's make up sentences about James Bond. And so we started making up sentences about James Bond, and it was funny because we were saying all the things about him which he didn't do, but it was our creation. Now, Aizada, why we use after dinner and a nap? We say I hear, but we don't say I hear, because after dinner is almost a set expression. After breakfast, after dinner, after supper, because we do that every day. And a nap, we don't do it always.
Yes.
And that's why.
Yes, okay, understand.
Одно из многих, да, one.
Да.
Right?
Okay, should I read?
Yes, please.
Shall I read?
Please.
After waking up, James Bond set up about jogging and exercising. After waking up, I set about preparing breakfast. After dinner and a nap, I set about visiting my aunt. Somehow unusual, but set about visiting. It's the same as to begin. Is it always the same as to begin?
Yeah, so I said about studying, I said about visiting my aunt. You see, sometimes my students make up sentences. It's their sentence, not my sentences. These are not my sentences.
Okay.
And I don't interrupt them, because for me it is important that they did something themselves, right?
Yes.
However, you can imagine a situation where you set about visiting your aunt. What do? You prepare for for visiting your aunt. Maybe you pack up some snacks, maybe you order a ticket. So you set about visiting your aunt. So it is possible.
Yes, I imagine it is possible, but it looks somewhat awkward.
Yes, it does. I agree with you.
Okay. After dinner, I set about working. Yeah, about working is normal, but about visiting is somehow not normal.
Not normal. I agree with you.
After school, when does your neighbor's children set about playing video games? Well, these two sentences. I set about visiting my aunt, and your neighbor's children set about playing. This also not very good. And there is something. I think I can guess why it's not normal.
And then there's a mistake here. When do your neighbor's children set about playing video games?
Right.
Because sometimes I just take notes, and I try to take notes fast. And
sure.
Yeah. The
okay. How do you go about finding a job in this city? How would you go about renovating a big house? How do you go about looking for a theme for your future speech? Yes, that's what I wanted to ask you about the Toastmasters.
Yes.
In Toastmasters, you make speeches, right?
Yes.
So, and I still remember you invited me to join Toastmasters. So how will I go about looking for a subject for my speech?
Well, actually, it's one of my Toastmaster competencies. I mentor other Toastmasters in planning out or in developing a speech strategy.
Okay.
So what we do is we chat about things that interest this person more. Like, what do you talk about most oftenly? Do you talk about your future plans? Do you talk about travels, things that you would like to do in the future? Or also, do you dwell on your past memories? Do you think about your past more often? If you do, what areas of your life do you spend more time thinking? Do you think about your student years, about certain friends, right? Another topic or another area of your thinking or doing or your action is like your home. For example, are you fond of your home? Do you like cooking? Or do you like eating more? Now, you know some foreign languages, so you have an experience of different cultures.
Yeah.
Are you mesmerized? Are you amazed by other cultures? Do you like foods from different cultures? So all of these things we talk, we chat, and as soon as I see that you're passionate about something, we take note of that.
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
And we make up a list of topics in advance. Now, the title of your speech you can formulate later on, but what we do is we draw a mind map, a strategy for the themes of your speech. And then what will happen after that is you will make speeches after speeches, and you will say, oh, I will book several speeches in advance for January, February, March, April. So all of a sudden you have many speeches. So you know what you will be talking about. You're no longer afraid of your speeches. You can't wait for your speeches. And yes.
Okay, Sveta, I would like to find out what I would like to find out. I am passionate about finding out what I am passionate about.
Excellent. So definitely I can tell you as your friend, you're passionate about Nursultan and relationship, like close relationship in the family. How to establish, how to understand each other, all these communication tricks and conversations with different specialists, your, travels to, I would call it even educational travels, like your experience with theater, your experience with communication psychologist, family psychologist, your experience with traveling to the Lake Issyk-Kul, where you actually engaged in some private business as a volunteer with Nursultan to expose him to the experience of business communication, to having colleagues, and a lot of other things.
Thank you. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Okay.
Yes. Do you have much more to tell me about my passions?
Yes, your other passion is travels. You really like traveling yourself, and you like to invite people. If you look at the reasons why, it will make a beautiful series of speeches.
Okay.
Not just a description. Last year I did this, and next year I want to do that. If you add to it why you are doing it, yes, then giving examples to why will make a beautiful speech, an interesting speech.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
I'm about to organize an educational trip of my sister. In fact, I have already started because, can you see me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, because she's coming on the 6th, and she, if you look at my Facebook page, you will see that I posted, I made 2 posts with her, with the pictures of her, what she produces these days.
So she
And she
produces
makes,
some
you know, I don't know the English for that. She makes small things of voilock.
Ooh, felt wool.
What? What
Felt
is,
wool.
what
It's called
wool?
felt
Felt wool,
felt
yes.
wool.
She makes, and she started it quite recently. And I think she makes very beautiful things. I posted the pictures on my Facebook page. People liked, some commented, and the reason I posted those pictures was that I wanted to organize a master class here when she comes here. Yeah, well, what she needs is the materials, the participants, yeah, a big table which I have in my
Why don't you
place.
talk to Human House about it?
Do you think I should?
Ask. At least if you are working on this project, yes, it's one of the things you go about. You go about preparing for your sister's visit.
Yes.
How do you go about preparing for your sister's visit? And you say, my sister is experienced in felt wool art, and I will go to Human House, or at least I will ask for their advice. It is always easy to formulate your request as a question asking for advice. What would you advise me? You say, you know, you're so experienced in organizing all these events. What would you advise me? Yeah, my sister is experienced wool art, felt wood artist, and how would you advise me to prepare for her visit? And I would like to organize a masterclass. And they might say, you can do
Why
it.
don't you come and do it at Human House?
Yes, do it at our place. We have everything for it.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, and they can even say that it will not cost anything for you, but we will charge for it that much. And this charge will not be from you, but it will be from people who come to the masterclass. And they can take, they will take the responsibility for organizing it. They will make an announcement. And even if you have like 5 persons coming, you know, that's okay.
All she needs, she says, it's best, the most comfortable for her. She's just starting. And I understand she already gave a couple of master classes to her friends, yeah, in Almaty. And her friends are very, you know, respectable people.
Yeah. You know, an interesting thing about felt wool artists is that they like doing it together.
Yeah.
Maybe it started off long time ago, centuries ago. Maybe it started off as a collective activity, not just for one person. That's why they enjoy doing it together. In this case, it doesn't even matter if she is very, very skillful.
Yeah. The fact is that I know someone here who may wish also to give a master class together with my sister.
They can do it together, exactly.
Yeah.
And to the master class, people may come who already can do it. And people who want to learn to do it.
Yeah.
So what we have in Uzbekistan is the silk art. Maybe, you know, painting on silk art, but we don't have that much felt wool art.
Yeah, okay.
So
You remember I asked you about the prices for silk?
Yes.
So I found silk in Tsum.
Yes, good.
And it's really between 20 and 60,000 soms.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I was right.
Now I need to find the felt itself. Yeah.
Today is the 30th of December. That's right, and
Okay.
we're having snow. And
So I'm very happy. So to say goodbye to the
Yeah.
2018. I'm very happy to have met you.
Thank you.
I'm very happy that you took some time, some effort to find me. You look wonderful with your hairdo.
You look wonderful.
My plan for the new year is to cut my hair totally. Я хочу побриться.
That's very interesting. I mean, you are free to experiment.
Yeah.
It will be a life-changing experience. It reflects, it reflects your inner state of mind.
Okay, let's for the remaining 2 days find some time to be outside together. Okay?
Let's do that.
Let's take a walk to see some decorated fir trees. So look, Sveta, I'm totally free. I don't have any lessons, so it's up to you to decide when. So today, tomorrow, at any time, we can go for a walk to see the decorated Tashkent. Okay?
I brought my umbrella so I can do it even when it is snowing.
Yes. I have my what is it? Capuchon? Hood. Yes, I have my coat with a hood, so I can walk anytime. I have good boots. I have galoshes.
Galoshes? Yeah, you have galoshes.
Yes. Okay.
Wonderful.
So tell me when, and I will plan accordingly. Okay.
I'll look at my calendar and we'll call you. I will call you. We'll talk again.
Okay. Please call.
Bye.
Please call on the home telephone, which I hear better if I'm in the kitchen.
Wonderful.
And I will carry my mobile
phone as well. Okay, thank you, Aizada. Thanks.
I love you. I love you.
Bye.
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 How